better bloody move on.
Thank you, and welcome. And in this week's show, Locke, Scott, and two smoking beamers. Now, thanks everybody. Thank you. Now, I want to begin by talking about money. Bear with us on this one. You see, if you'd put £35,000 in a saving account in the year 2000, you'd now have around £60,000. However, if you'd put that same £35,000 into an E-Type Jaguar, you'd now have £100,000.
Yeah, just about everything, even remotely rare or interesting, is worth a fortune these days. Aston Martin DB5, that'll cost you £750,000. Ferrari Daytona, £600,000. A Pagoda roof Mercedes SL, that'll set you back at least 75 grand now.
Yeah, it's not just exotic cars either. Ford Escort Mexico, OK? Humdrum car, that's a £60,000 thing these days. 60 grand.
It is. However, there are one or two rare and interesting cars that seem to have slipped through the net, whose prices haven't yet gone through the ceiling.
So we decided to get out there and see which of us was best at spotting that investment opportunity.
Exactly. So we each bought a classic car. And then to see which one of us had got the best deal, we took the grand tour to what one of our producers, who's Scottish, always says is the best, most beautiful place on Earth. Scotland. We chose for our meeting point a quaint fishing port near Inverness. And I was the first to arrive in an Alfa Romeo GTV6. Now, you would imagine that when one of these comes onto the market, classic car enthusiasts are running around like they're in a zombie movie and it's Black Friday. But no, I bought this from an 83-year-old man who'd had it since new and was only selling it because his 84-year-old wife found it so difficult to get in and out of, you know. It's only done 26,000 miles, and yet it cost £10,000. And £10,000, that's a round of drinks in the world where this sort of thing belongs. Oh, hello. James May in a Lancia Gamma Coupe. It's one of the prettiest cars ever made, but don't tell him I said that. Morning, May. How much?
£13,500.
Oh, so £3,500 more than I paid for this vastly superior Alfa Romeo.
Well, £13,500 is a bargain for a car that is coach-built and extremely rare and beautiful.
But it isn't exotic like this is.
What do you mean it's not exotic? That is a better-looking car.
What than this?
Yes!
It is superb.
It's not superb.
I tell you what's not superb. Richard Hammond arriving in a Fiat X19. How much?
£2,250.
Somebody saw you coming, Hammond.
What? For a baby Ferrari? 2,200...
Did you just call it a baby Ferrari?
He did.
Because it is mid-engined Italian. It's exactly what it is.
Well, listen to that sound.
I know.
That is the reassuring sound of tin on Russian steel.
It's a light, bright, effervescent sound just like the car.
How many colours has this car been? It was black, then it was red, then it was white, then it was pale blue, and now it's purple.
I'd like to add, actually, it's not how many colours has this car been, how many cars has this been?
Well, quite. It's now going brown.
Brown, yeah.
All right, then, I'm not going to turn around and try and work out which Alfa you've bought.
Ta-da! The best
Oh,
Alfa.
it's a GTV6.
Exactly.
Yep. Why has it got this plastic bit in the middle of the bonnet?
Genius. The engine in this car had a small issue. It used to backfire, well, front fire actually, and blow the top off the engine, yeah? So that would damage the bonnet. So they put this plastic panel, which was easier to replace.
Why didn't they stop it backfiring?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
They were busy.
Lazy.
Yes, let's not get bogged down with some of the Alfa's minor design flaws.
Disasters.
Because all three of us have got classic cars
I have, yes.
for good money.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Scotland, so why don't we take them on a drive in... Well, let's be honest, Scotland is just a road trip.
Well,
I agree.
we could, while we're here, we could do the NC 500. Which, I mean, that is supposed...
Let's do this. It says those cars will not do 500 yards, leave alone 500 miles. So I've provided 3 backup vehicles which you can use to get home when they go wrong and catch fire and explode. I was wondering what they were.
Funny.
How did he know we were going to do 500 miles?
That's a good point, actually, because Hammond's only just suggested it.
Eventually, we cleared the fishing port and found ourselves on the open road, where we could get down to the...
Hang on a minute.
It says those cars will not do. Ourselves on the open road, where we could get down to the business of enjoying our pedigree Italian classics.
Go. Fancy event in the power steering hub on the end of one of the camshafts. Basically, you can't really use full lock, especially when the engine's cold, otherwise the engine will explode. The thermostat was fitted in the wrong place, which leads to overheating very suddenly, and then the engine can explode. And there were some problems with the gasket materials, which causes the coolant mixed with the oil, with the engine exploding sort of the dark. My car is just so refined and sophisticated, and in fact really well looked. Right, watch this. My car is just so...
You can't get out. We just lift it up. There you go. You just have to drive like that. James, can I just say you've done 3 miles?
It's mended for now. Don't...
Hurry up! Meanwhile, in the GTV6... Oh no, what's that? That's third. Right, good. Third. Fourth. Go. Transaxle, gearbox at the back, twin plate clutch, discs all round, unusual at the time. One of the best engines ever made, 2.5 litre V6. despite all the weirdness, I do still absolutely love this thing. It was my ownership of a GTV6 that taught me what cars... That's not exhaust noise. That's an actual engine. As James and I enjoyed our classic thoroughbreds, Richard was driving along in his purple Fiat.
Unleash 80 horsepower.
Begin! One slight complaint about the Fiat, the pedals are very, very small and very close together. And if you try and operate them with, let's say, your feet, you'll find that your feet are too big. Really, you just need to use a toe on each. For God's sake. Oh no. Come on, come on, come on.
Soon, Hammond spotted a racetrack and suggested we have a go on it. And as we pulled up, it became clear that tiny pedals weren't his only problem. That's quite high revs.
Yeah, idle's quite high, yeah.
Is that its idle speed?
Yes. It's keen.
Since this was actually a go-kart track, it was too narrow for car racing. So I decided we should have a drifting competition.
It doesn't work. It simply doesn't really have the power to throw its tail out properly.
Even though my Alfa had twice the horsepower of the Fiat, things weren't great for me either. Just grip and more grip. I know Roger Moore drifted a GTV6 in Octopussy, but then he crashed into a fence and had to dress up as a clown.
In the Gamma, I was confident I'd succeed where my colleagues had failed.
Right, here we go. Lancia is one of the greatest names in rallying history, so control drift should be second nature to this. So approach that corner, and heel and toe it, and... Brake, lift off. No.
At this point, I suddenly remembered something important.
This is front-wheel drive, isn't it? What was I thinking of? It's not going to drift.
Happily, though, the enthralled local audience were able to find a solution.
What I do is I take the rear wheels off, let the tyres down, and put these plastic covers on, then put the tyres back up again, put them back on. That gives the car the loose back end you want to drift. These are just, this is like putting insulating tape on the back wheels of your Scale X-Tric cars. Stand by.
With no help from anyone else on this freezing day, the drift covers were soon fitted.
Oh, here we go.
Oh! Right, turn in, get the drift going, and
This entertainment went on for quite some time.
go! Right then, let's go.
To it. Yes. This looks like a lot of fun. We're going to do that. We're going to try it.
Oh, no, there's the only set.
What are those things?
Yeah, they're the only set, so we can't do it.
Well, no, we can make some.
Did you ask if you could borrow this bed?
No, but they won't need it.
Here we go!
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, they're the only set, so we can't do it.
Well, no, we can make some.
Get a bloody move on! Where can the helicopter land?
We're off. Keep going.
Now, this bit is really scary.
Right there. Spinning power, this is good. Unleash the beast! Gotta keep the pressure on. Time to play. Let's just try again. Right, one of them, that's fallen off. That could be interesting. And I am turning in. Drifting. Oh no, I've got no steering.
Annoyingly, Hammond's dismal failure didn't stop him fitting his ridiculous contraptions to my precious Alpine. Make the tyres grip properly. And then along comes Hammond with the bit. Go. Get on with it. Come on, turn. Look at that a tidy line. For heaven's sake, I beg them, drive fast. What was that noise? Whole car's vibrating. Yeah, that's a massive vibration. Hammond, you blithering idiot! You totally ruined this car! An inspection of the undersides revealed some grim news.
What? A bicycle ride? It always does. Oh my God!
Oh my God! 20 miles through this freezing middle of nowhere.
Hey, Richard the Hamster Hammond. Is you...
Excuse me.
20 miles